Okay, ciao Andrew. Guys, Andrew is the owner of a Kickstarter campaign that actually smashed this goal in 20 minutes from the launch. He managed to raise like more than $4,000, almost I think $5,000 on Kickstarter in the first 20 minutes from the launch. And congrats so much, man, for these great results. I'm so happy to hear about that. Andrew and I had a call before the actual launch of the crowdfunding campaign, where I described him like the whole outline of the major topics about pre-launch, crowdfunding pre-launch, and he managed to nail down that so well. So we are here to tell a little bit more of his story, how he managed to achieve this kind of result, and hopefully it could be like inspirational for also the other creators that I'm gonna watch this video. So the project of Andrew is a children book that teach the people like healthy habits to stay away from COVID. So it's a colorful book with a funny puppet attached. And I think it's so clever and is something very, very cool, especially for nowadays. So, but right now, let's talk with Andrew, and let's see what he's gonna tell us about his project. Ciao, Andrew.
Hey, yeah. So I initially developed my project kind of over the past year. I've noticed that as we've gone closer or farther into COVID, there's really wasn't a whole ton of resources in the beginning or even now, especially for children.
Mm-hmm.
You know, helping them understand the pandemic, understanding, you know, germs and viruses, and, you know, why we're not letting them go to school, why we're not letting them play with their friends, and having them, you know, wear masks and everything. And to, you know, a 2-year-old or a 4-year-old, all that can be really overwhelming, really confusing. They don't understand it all. So my goal with the whole, you know, my campaign is called Go Away COVID. And my whole goal with that was to create a product that can help children understand why adults are acting this way, you know, why we're having them, you know, wear face masks, wash their hands more. And so I developed a children's book called Go Away COVID that kind of teaches these lessons. And along with that, you know, I developed a puppet to kind of interact with the kids and help them, you know, put a face to COVID, to kids. You know, COVID, it's just this invisible entity that we keep telling them about. But, you know, being able to put a face to the virus, I think is a really helpful way to educate them on what it is and, you know, why we're trying to stay away from it.
Okay. So that was like the origin of this idea, actually.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So another thing that I wanted to ask you, like, why did you choose Kickstarter? So, firstly, how did you approach to Kickstarter? Why did you choose the crowdfunding method to launch this kind of project? And yes.
Yeah, that's a great question. So I actually own a toy company. I launched it about 1.5 years ago, and I've been wanting to try out Kickstarter for product launches, but timing wasn't right, going through COVID and everything. But I felt that this was going to be the perfect product to put on there, and it really had viral potential. And so using Kickstarter, I felt was a different means to reach a different audience than I'm already reaching with my toys through my website and Amazon and everything. And so that's initially why I chose Kickstarter. And I looked at a lot of different projects that were kind of similar, using children's book and other plush toys and stuff, and kind of seeing their successes and seeing that, my project really did have potential on there if, I was able to implement the right strategy.
In fact, like children's book is a very big market, like very big, still niche, but very big marketing, especially on Kickstarter.
Right.
I'm noticing that is raising and growing like day by day on Kickstarter, and so happy about that. It's very important, like teaching children and give to the creators the possibility to approach to the mass market, my question, another question that I have regarding like Kickstarter. So what was your attitude, so your knowledge on Kickstarter launches before, obviously, talking with me. What was like your attitude in that, your experience in
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, I knew basically nothing. You know, I've read articles, I've watched some YouTube videos, but yeah, really knowing everything there is to know about the launches and everything you need to do to make a successful launch, I had very little knowledge on. Going into it, I honestly thought that, you know, I could just write up a project, put it up, and people would find it. I didn't realize that there's thousands and thousands of projects on Kickstarter, you know, every day. And even the successful ones, you know, they don't pop up on the homepage. You have to dig for them. So, yeah, going into it, I knew very little before meeting with you.
Okay, cool. And how was your pre-launch? Because what I always tell to my client, and this is something that every creator should know, is that the pre-launch phase is the most fundamental phase that you need to execute before launching any kind of campaign. So there is this great misconception where I want to launch a project on Kickstarter or in Indiegogo above, and the first thing that I'm going to do is the campaign page. But it's not like that. It's all about creating a solid and warm community of people interested before the actual launch, and in order to convert these people, over the campaign when the campaign is going to be live. So how was your pre-launch, Andrew? So which kind of metrics can you tell us, and how that was? Yes.
Yeah. So I started the pre-launch about a month and a half before I launched the campaign, about maybe 2 months. And you know, I put up
great timing.
I put up a landing page to collect people's email addresses and everything, and kind of give an overview of what my project is. You know, create a couple graphics to put on there, and then I ran ads through Facebook, mainly Facebook, to acquire my contacts. And over the course of, you know, this month and a half, 2 months, I generated, I think, around 3,000 email addresses I was able to collect for my pre-launch campaign. And then 2 weeks before my launch, I started, you know, my email campaign. So I had all these email addresses I collected, and then, you know, I started, you know, we're launching 2 weeks, you know, getting people excited, getting them more engaged and sharing with their friends on social media and everything. And so when I hit that launch button, you know, it was almost guaranteed that I would get funding.
Okay. Yeah, that is the most important thing. So to recap for the people that are gonna watch this video, then, so you created like a landing page, and you're gonna start driving traffic over the page only using Facebook ads, or did you use also other kind of channels to drive traffic over the page?
Yeah, for me, I just use Facebook ads. I also ran a sweepstakes contest through my company to generate more emails. So, you know, I was giving away puppets and stuff like that, and toys. And I got, you know, probably 500 emails from that. Not a whole ton, but yeah, the ads, they really gave me a lot of emails.
Okay, cool. So essentially, to recap, like landing page, driving traffic over the page through Facebook ads and other kind of channels, collating emails, and then you use the email marketing. Did you use the email marketing only close to the crowdfunding campaign, or did you send them also other emails, for example, the welcome email?
Yeah, no, I just started 2 weeks before my campaign launch. My whole philosophy was I don't like to be spammed by people. I don't like 1,000 emails. So I wanted to keep it really centralized and, you know, send them the important stuff. So I really, you know, I did a 2-week email, a 1-week email, you know, the day before, the morning of, and then, you know, one day and to kind of tell the results, but keeping it really condensed. I felt worked a little better. I haven't had barely anyone unsubscribe from me, and so I feel like that's been kind of successful in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So you didn't send any welcome mail for joining the newsletter?
Okay. Yeah, no, I didn't do any welcome emails.
That's weird. Like, because generally it's something that works very well in order to wrap up the people and explain a little bit what is going to happen. Because what sometime can happen is that the people are going to type in their email over the landing page, but they don't have the whole big picture of what is going to happen. So generally, having a welcome email to recap all this stuff, it could be useful. But in this case, it worked as well. So it really depends on the kind of target that you're gonna work with. So another kind of question that I'm getting right now. So how was helpful the fact that you already had a company in that field? Because I've imagined that, for example, you already probably had some contact list of people from your company. Obviously, you already had like a great knowledge on that kind of market. So how much was that helpful for you?
Yeah, definitely borrowing from my company's email list helped a lot. You know, kind of going through the process of product development, you know, helped a lot too. I already have, you know, my manufacturers in place. And so when fulfillment comes, it's not going to be a nightmare trying to source stuff. But yeah, through through trial and error of the past, you know, year and a half, 2 years that I've owned my company, it's really kind of prepared me for this type of product launch with marketing and also product development.
I see. But did you like use any of the emails from your company for this campaign?
I did. Yeah. No, I used my email list from my company as well.
Okay. Cool. Okay, Andrew. So the next question that I want to ask you is how much was helpful for you having a support from a consultant like me in order to launch your campaign in the most effective way?
Yeah, no, that was really helpful to have a call with a consultant. You know, my first Kickstarter campaign, I was very lost at the beginning. I was trying to gather as much information as I could. You know, I was reading books, reading articles, watching videos, but really there's bits and pieces everywhere. Meeting with the consultant and to be able to, you know, ask directed questions, everything started coming together. And, you know, after our call, I was able to go back and kind of create a overall master plan of, you know, my pre-launch marketing, my Kickstarter marketing, and then, you know, my fulfillment program. And so, yeah, no, I think it's very crucial to be able to have, you know, someone to coach you through that whole process, especially if it's your first time like me, in order to, you know, really have that successful launch and be able to smash that funding goal really quickly. So
okay. Yeah, that it was probably one of the key of your success, like smashing the goal in a very short period of time, because that is gonna also help you to being picked by Kickstarter as a project favorite. So guys, Go Away COVID, the Andrew's project was picked by Kickstarter as a favorite project. So this means that he's getting like a better exposure over Kickstarter website and probably even inside their social media and a newsletter possibly. So that would definitely help so much the exposure of the campaign, and this means that he's going to be able to convert more people over the crowdfunding campaign page. So can you tell us a little bit more about that? How that was? How was that kind of process? If you can give some advice for people, and how was the process?
Yeah, no, I was asking that exact same question before, you know, I launched my campaign. I really wanted to be, you know, a favorite by Kickstarter, projects we love. And, you know, what I found is these are all handpicked by individuals, by the editors at Kickstarter. There's no secret algorithm, no secret sauce to be getting, you know, picked by them to be one of their favorites. So, you know, by human decision, best advice I can give really is focus on your story, on your campaign page story. Make sure it's really solid. Make sure your graphics are really solid. Make sure your idea is really refined, and, you know, stands out, is creative. Make sure you have a really good video that tells your story really well. And all those kind of elements come together. And, you know, for me, I thought I was going to get picked. I was hoping to get picked even before I launched the campaign. But, you know, to my surprise, I got picked 3 days in. And I think I was picked because, you know, I funded in 20 minutes and, you know, I was getting, you know, a lot of attention. on Kickstarter. And so I think that might have, set off flags in their algorithm to, have their editors look at the project again and, kind of decide, I don't know for sure, but, that's kind of what I'm thinking, what happened and how I got picked 3 days in. So if you don't get picked, before you launch, don't give up all hope, really focus in on your pre-launch campaign, really focus in on launch day and getting funded as quick as possible. And your chances might go up again.
Okay, cool. So I was also looking at your campaign page, and I really liked the fact that you were explaining each of the rewards in the specific, and that is something very, very, very important for all the creators that are going to watch this video. Guys, when you're going to create the campaign page, even if that is going to be the very last step, but you need to take in consideration to show exactly, visually also, what is going to be inside each of the rewards that the people can pick, because that is going to help so much to the people, like the people that are going to then making a pledge over the crowdfunding campaign. So right now, how much did you raise so far, Andrew?
So I've raised close to $10,000 right now. My initial goal was 5,000. And like I said, I hit that in 20 minutes after launch. So you keep going up. I'm about a week and a half into the campaign. And yeah, so like you were saying, kind of put yourself in someone's shoes that, has no idea what your campaign is, doesn't know any of your rewards, and kind of try to lay out everything for them so they can kind of see clearly of, what they're getting into and, why. Give them a reason to back you, Don't leave anything up to chance. Don't let them bring them to your conclusions of, why they should back your project.
Yeah, exactly. So okay, so how many days you have here? Oh, you have 22 days for your project. So I'm thinking that I'm sure that you're gonna be able to aim to also a greater kind of result here. But you're still doing great, man. So I'm so happy to see that from my clients as an outcome. It's very rewarding for me. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing that. I want to let other creators to achieve the same goal that I achieved in the past with my Indiegogo campaign in that case, but with their projects, because that is going to give you the opportunity to launch new products out there, to create brands from scratch, actually, right? Because you're going to gain also a better kind of credibility if you're going to be able to show to the people, hey guys, this is how much I sold. How many pieces I sold, and this is how much I raised. So that is going to be very, very effective as well. So Andrew, in conclusion, if you could give some advice for creators that are approaching to Kickstarter crowdfunding campaigns, Indiegogo campaigns, that they work pretty similar. Which kind of advice could you give to them?
Yeah, I have a couple pieces. As with any product development or entrepreneurial endeavor, make sure your product is fulfilling a need or solving some sort of problem that there is. That's number one. If people don't have a reason to buy your product, then they're not going to buy it, of course. So make sure, you have a really developed, refined product that, has demand. Secondly, focus in on storytelling. Marketing is all about the story. Really create a story around your product and your brand, and that'll give you the edge over other projects out there.
Okay. I agree so much with what he said. What do you say, man? Okay, Andrew. So let's do. I want to propose you like another call, possibly at the end of the campaign, when we are gonna be able to review all the results that you got in these 30 days of campaign, and we are gonna be able to double check all the kind of results and which kind of lessons you learned that you are gonna be able to share to other creators here. So it was a pleasure, man. So wish you the best, and we are gonna following your campaign closely, and thanks so much for the time.
Great. Yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you.
Oh, guys, go and follow Andrew. Can you share your social links and where they can find you and find the campaign as well?
Yeah, so you find the campaign on Kickstarter, just type in "Go Away COVID." And you can follow us on Facebook. We have my company page, which runs the Kickstarter. It's called Puppet Pals. If you type in Puppet Pals, and you'll get campaign updates there as well. So.
Okay. Thanks, Andrew. Ciao, man. Thanks so much for the time.
Yeah, for sure.